Hello everybody. This is Apex Predator, and welcome to What If Deku was transported to Black Clover. Oof. Let me just quickly check. Part 7. 7. Yeah. Okay, so we last left off as they're they're in the little room where they're resting and sitting down in their beds, down deep under the water at the sea temple. And Deku is contemplating what he saw through the dimension slash. So yeah, is definitely going to. So I've watched all the way until episode 170, the most recent one at the time of this episode being released, so far as I've seen. So I'm just gonna go on all the way until the time skip. That's when things are gonna happen. During the time skip, actually. Okay, so Yami talks to the Grand Priest and gets the magic stone, for the giant summoning of the different dimension where the devil is being locked up right now. Yeah, so Yami gets the gem or the crystal, the magic stone, and they're like talking between themselves in the little room as Deku's just sitting by himself with Vanessa sitting on the end of his bed as he's thinking to himself. As I'm not gonna disclose just yet what they're talking about and thinking about. Now we're gonna cut down to Asta, because in this, a different term or different circumstances are going to bring the entire gang to the Witch's Forest, which is probably going to be in this episode or this part, depending on how long this video is. So Asta doesn't have the very rare and destructive curses on his arms, so he's not injured in that term, so he can just still use his arms because he didn't get bashed up as much because he's stronger and Deku was there to beat the shit out of him. But then obviously Yami came in and dimension slashed the bitch into two. Yeah, guys. Yeah, so that happened. So Magna is just talking to Luck, and they're just having like a normal Magna Luck conversation, talking about who's strongest and who's gonna win next time. Yeah, that stuff. And everything's like kind of normal, but now we cut to Deku as Vanessa is talking to him. So, why are you acting so strange ever since the end of the battle? What happened during the battle that made you turn out to make you feel this way? I don't know what you're feeling right now. Well, it's weird. You know how I said Asta, and I are brothers, from the orphanage? Yes, Well, we don't know where we came from. Asta has no magic power. Has so much magic power. I'm surprised. And me, I'm just me. I'm powerful because I work hard. I'm the balance between hard work, working on my muscles, strength, and power of will, just like Asta. But I have so much more magical power than himself, because he doesn't put in the work. He's all blessed and high and mighty because he has the wind spirit bell. I think, I don't know. What the hell's that? Her name? I don't care. But anyway, so when Yami did his dimension slash, yeah, that really powerful attack. Yeah, it's a wonder that he's considered to be lower than the rest. He's so much more powerful than I would ever thought. Well, the only reason why we're looked down upon is because we're very troublesome, or we used to be. We're getting rid of those black stars, Yeah, true. But anyway, what happened? Well, I think I saw my previous life. It didn't look like anything you could ever see in this world. I saw giant buildings, maybe 50 stories high, weird looking beasts, weird looking magic. I don't even know if they were magics. Everything looked so weird, incomprehensible. And then there was a green-haired woman that I saw. I have a feeling that she was my mother, but I have no idea. As Vanessa is listening to this, as she is like, well, whatever it is, maybe we can learn more if you see the dimension slash being done again. As Yami walks in and listens to the conversation between Izuku and Vanessa, he's like, sure, kid, I'll perform the dimension slash again sometime. So, as the both of them just jump off the bed and land on their heads and back. It's like, where the hell did you come from? I was here the whole time. Wait, did you listen to my entire speech just now? Well, just until the dimension slash, the first mention of that. Wait, how do you know that I didn't mention dimension slash before the one that you're talking about? Let's just not get into the complex situation. I just know about you talking about the weird stuff you saw. Okay, that's yeah, it's strange. It's like everyone had their own type of magic, and they're fighting against beasts and other things, but they didn't have any grimoires. Everything looked futuristic, like they've created inventions beyond a furnace and dungeons and different types of locks. And no, those are really shitty examples actually. Like, I have no idea what technological advances in Black Clover has been done. So just think of the most futuristic things of, well, think of the advances of Black Clover and technology. I'm not sure where they stand by it, so, because of being able to use magic, you don't really need a steam engine. Just use someone's fire magic, keep the thing going. Yeah, but anyway. So, they wrap everything up, get everyone ready to go on their journey, and they say bye to that dancing guy and the singing girl. To be honest, it's been a while since I've been through this arc. I'm like at the actual, I passed the time skip, so I haven't seen that in a while. So, oh no, don't move like that, jeez. Anyway, so they get ready to go, and they say bye to those two. As they finally reach the beach, they basically just get themselves ready for another trip to go back to get back to the squad base. Yeah. Oof. Jeez. So they get back to the base, and Yami just decides to, well, take the gem, the magic stone, to the Wizard King. And so instead of Charmy being there, Deku and Asta go there just to, go for some sightseeing, check the capital out, Yeah. So they go along just to be tourists, I guess. Maybe run into, something like that. So they get there, they talk to the Wizard King, and yeah, they talk to the Wizard King. Jeez, this is weird. I'm lying down talking to you, which is a really weird thing to do for me. It's weird because you're not talking back. I'm used to conversations when someone's talking back to me. It's like, yeah, this is my opinion, opinion. Talking. Yeah, let's just carry on. So, they head there, they exchange, they get into contact with the Wizard King, do their whole spiel, and the Diamond Kingdom attacks the capital, as is on guard. He's facing his opponent, and the rest of the Magic Knights who are in the capital are fighting against the others. As they teleport out, and Yami gets a strange feel about something, so he goes up to the Golden Dawn's captain and just senses the same type of key as Licht from the Eyes of the Midnight Sun. So Deku also feels it, but he ignores it and just trusts Yami with taking care of that. As Deku and Asta are just like standing there on a rooftop looking out, as Deku's using one of the abilities that he gained from uh, acquiring his spirit, Gravi Cipher. We haven't seen a lot of him actually. As he uses Gravi Cipher, Spirit Drive, and basically uses that to sense every single. Basically, he uses gravity magic and spreads his magic all around everywhere. Feel the weight of the entire capital to see where everything is. There are distortions in gravity, then someone is flying or has jumped up in the air, So, yeah. As he locates the enemies and Asta gets his black form ready. So as I said in the previous in either 5 or 6, this is 7th. So in the 5th or 6th part of this, I said that he has the black form because he's been training with Deku, who has a greater mental capacity than anyone else. So yeah. And Asta and Deku are the only two that know about the devil inside of the grimoire. As one of the one of the generals, the guy in the slime, he comes over, and the vice captain of the Golden Dawn, Finral's younger brother, sees him with hostages and is like, and he does the whole spiel of noble sacrifices, as Deku just kicks him in the face, and he's just like, what the hell was that for? You're talking about noble sacrifices. Just gonna sacrifice a bunch of people just because it's simple and easy to deal with. Makes things simpler if you can just kill everyone involved. There's a reason he has hostages, to make sure you don't attack him. So, just get rid of the hostages as well. That's a great idea. Great reputation for you, huh? Pathetic. You don't even deserve the title of vice captain. What did you just say to me? Bakugo vibes. Yeah. It's like, shut up. As he gives off this very intense and scary presence to him, as Finral's brother just like backs off and stays quiet, sitting down, as Asta just brings out his Demon Dweller and Demon Slayer sword, as he uses anti-magic and flows it within the blade of the Demon Dweller sword, as he slashes he just black slashes everyone. If you've watched up to after the time skip, you'd understand what I'm talking about. So he just does a bunch of black slashes to basically cut off the excess of the slime that doesn't compose of the hostages, as he just as he just stabs the ground with the demon dweller and the demon slayer sword he raises up. You know how he uses it and makes it become the demon divider as he finds the slashing path of where he should cut to slash down on the opponent and avoid the hostages. As he slashes down, cutting straight through, cutting the guy in half. Well, wait, do they kill people? That's the weirdest thing. Do the magic knights kill their enemies? I'm not sure. Yeah, they probably do, but let's just say he got knocked his shit down. He got knocked the hell out. And he's in the ground as this slime just starts to evaporate and deform as Asta just puts both of his swords away and grabs all of the hostages and puts them onto the ground in a, like, how you would see everyone laid down on, like, cloth while they're being treated in a battlefield, you know. But anyway, so Deku just looks around and he's like, damn, well, let's just carry on with this. As they go on to defeat, well, Yami does this whole thing with William. Yeah, William. His name is William of the Golden Dawn, Captain. Oof. Yeah, so he does his thing there. And yeah. So they go on and everything is resolved. And they... Wait, I have to do something. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to do something. Okay, so we carry on. So they get back to the squad base after the attack, and they're like, they have literally one golden star. No more black stars. They have one golden star. It's like, this is amazing. Yes. Because in the original they have like less than 10 or slightly around 10 black stars, but because of some smaller jobs that were put in just for convenience of this, they have more golden stars. So now they have a single golden star for their squad. Today's a riot. So they go back to their squad base, and because Asta's arms aren't, cursed and he can actually use them, no one is going out and being depressed about his arms. So no one's going out to find a way to break the curse on his arms. So in these couple of days, Asta, so Asta just goes to the village where Rebecca lives and stays there helping out with her shop and taking care of the siblings. As Asta is just hanging around there, and Deku is slightly pissed because he's not training as much, but that would be his downfall, as every single enemy said just before they get their asses whipped. Jokes. So, Vanessa and Deku are with Yami, and Yami is going to perform a dimension slash for Deku, as Deku is standing like 10 feet away, just looking, spectating at the dimension slash with Vanessa, as Vanessa is trying to make sure she can see what Deku's seeing, but she's not going to be able to see anything. So Yami slashes down and does a dimension slash into the woods. Like, no one's gonna get slashed or anything. It's just gonna be like, just into the woods, doesn't cause that much damage to any buildings, because there's nothing there, just a bunch of trees in a forest. So yeah. So he does a dimension slash, and through the dimension slash, Deku can see it. He can see in a third person type view onto what is happening to him. So I'm going to describe to you what's going on. In this single instant, all this is happening. So he sees himself, a bouncing baby little boy, being born. And then he sees a different scene where Hisashi and Enko are looking at him, seeing him, playing with him, as the next scene is of Enko being sad because Hisashi had left. And then she just looks upon Deku as he's the only one to actually be there, even though he's like, wait, what the hell is this? Okay, something else. Yeah, don't worry about the other stuff there. Yeah, there. So yeah, notifications, Jesus. Okay, so Deku just sees him in a black void, something like Kurogiri's warp gate, but not actually his warp gate. But then he sees the face of the anonymous being, and then him being put on the ground right next to Yuno and Asta, him having the name Izuku written on his small baby little t-shirt. And it's like, you're going to have to stay here. One day, you're going to have a powerful magic spell. Going to master that spell. The gravity warp spell. You're going to have that spell. And when you train it enough, you can warp between dimensions. But once you do that, the time situation is gonna be a bit weird, to be honest. Just wherever you are, everything moves slower. Well, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm adding a certain thing to Deku, basically. The anonymous being put something to him, as it doesn't matter how long. No, it does matter how long. So basically, one day in the My Hero world is going to be 4 years this world, in the Black Clover world. But the thing is that if Deku travels to the My Hero Academia world, the time ratio absolutely just like swaps. So he's always on the 4 year side. So Deku, once Deku goes there, he's just gonna be there for like, how long would it be? So he went missing around. So the Norris being took him at around the age of 2 to 3 years old. So that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 11 years. So that would be like less than 4 days he'd be gone from the the Black Clover world, to be able to go all the way to whence he was, as he is. So the weird part about this is that he has 2 different bodies. So because he was taken from My Hero Academia world and put into the Black Bulls world, his basically he's gonna have a gravity quirk, technically. So his My Hero body and his Black Clover body are 2 separate things. So when he travels to My Hero Academia, he's gonna be in the mind of his 3-year-old self. Well, in the body of his 3-year-old self. Basically, he's gonna have all the additions to his gravity magic. So basically, at the time he goes back, he can, into his 3-year-old self, he can just go back to he can just go back to Black Clover whenever he wants. So it's kind of, if you don't get what I'm doing here, it's just that I want to try and make this so he basically has 2 lives that he has to think about. And he's just gonna go throughout his entire life as Izuku Midoriya in My Hero Academia, with a really powerful gravity quirk that has lots of additions to it. Well, applications to it. Which is, it's not a quirk, it's just his gravity magic, technically. So, yeah. If you get what I'm doing here, I'm basically giving him a normal life as Izuku Midoriya, but he's going to have to basically live as his 3-year-old self all the way back up to 15, 16, whatever time in the My Hero Academia world where they end. So yeah, let's get back. So everything just comes back. So he just knows about the finish. What he saw was all the way up to Anonymous being telling him about the spell that he has to train to go to the next world. back to his world. And he understands the basic concept of what happened to him as he processes this. He's just holding his face as Yami just looks towards him and walks over and basically kneels down to one knee and looking at him and says, "What did you see?" As Deku responds, is like, "Okay, I just can't believe that actually happened." As anonymous being comes down and is like, "Hey y'all," as he basically puts the mental tampers with their minds to make sure they don't freak out. It's like, "Who are you?" and stuff. It's like, "Hey, anonymous being." Everyone just says hi to him. So he controls everything. Don't worry about it. Okay, so he's like, "So basically, Deku, or Izuku here, is not from this world. He's of a different world." And he basically gives the entire explanation of what I just said after what Deku saw in the Dimension Slash. Basically, he gives the entire explanation I did, except for a few minor details of me talking myself, just explaining everything as is. So they're all shocked. So you'll have to start as a 3-year-old again. But you'll have the exact same strength and magical power. But in this other world, magic doesn't technically exist. It's a thing called quirks. And quirks are a genetic thing. You know, your DNA, the stuff that makes you look like you look. Basically, genes. Your genes make you have black hair and have the skin tone you have. Gives you the growth rate of your beard or hair and stuff like that. The basic concept of that. But a gene that determines what type of superpower you gain. It's not like you can choose. You're just born with something. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you there, okay? As he vamonoses out of there. As before he goes, he tampers with Deku's grimoire. And I think this is a good point to leave it off. So next part, I'm gonna basically go through the Witch's Forest event, which is gonna be a long video, to be honest. A lot of fight scenes. This is gonna be a very long thing. But anyway, so hopefully you understood what I tried to explain. So his consciousness is... So there's only one consciousness of Deku, which it's his mind, his knowledge, and everything, as well as all of his magical power and his physical strength. So he's gonna be born with a lot of strength. Just imagine a baby crawling around with the strength of Deku. Like Black Clover Deku, as I make him. It's gonna be a tough child to control. But luckily Deku is mature. Because technically by the time he gets into UA, he's gonna be like 30 or something. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying that. But he's like 30. He'd be It's weird to think about that, actually. Very, very weird. But anyway. So I'm just gonna leave it off here. And I'm not gonna tell you... In this video, I'm not gonna tell you what the anonymous being did to Deku's grimoire. I might have added something, I might have done something, but you basically get what I've explained in this video. So, hope you enjoyed my awful explanation. Jeez. Yeah, so thank you for listening, thank you for, well, listening to this. Have a great day, be safe, don't get COVID, and goodbye.